But why GI is such a major area of interest in Ireland is probably a convergence of a number of factors. Firstly, as I mentioned, there's a strong academic background in gastroenterology. I think in fact at one stage most, if not all, of the professors of medicine in our medical schools actually were gastroenterologists. And that in itself created an environment where gastroenterology was an area of major interest and an area of research for people doing higher degrees, for example. The second factor, which I think was probably of importance, was that there are some gastroenterological issues which are of particular interest in Ireland. For example, celiac disease. We may have among the highest prevalences of celiac disease in the world, and a lot of pioneering work in celiac disease was done in Ireland many years ago. And the third factor was that it was really an emerging area. If you look at the various subspecialties in medicine over the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, gastroenterology has probably seen more innovation than many others with the advent of endoscopy, imaging, etc. It made it exciting, innovative. It's also a hands-on specialty, so for people who are interested in doing procedures, for example, there's a lot of scope to do that, as well as see patients and do the usual clinical things.
Within the life sciences, the GI immunology space, there's so much exciting stuff going on within, be it our university infrastructure, be it within a company base, or be it within the multinational community or clinical community. When you put it all together, there really is, it's a hotbed of activity. And that hotbed of activity really has a demonstration effect for others that are looking in saying, well, they're doing it, we can do it. And it creates a level of excitement, and that level of excitement translates into exciting new products. And exciting new products drives exciting new businesses, which drives exciting new employment opportunities. We're the fourth largest exporters of pharmaceuticals worldwide. 6 of the top 10 selling drugs globally are exclusively produced in Ireland. We have a very strong medical technology base here, and it's increasingly been recognised that in the GI space and the biodrug development space in particular, we have now companies that are real world leading companies.
The gastrointestinal research space in Ireland has traditionally been strong. Science Foundation Ireland is largely about funding research areas in new cutting-edge areas, but also recognising that we need to build on the strengths that already exist in Ireland. And GI, gastrointestinal research, digestive diseases and alimentary health are all areas that traditionally we've been strong in.
Well, the Alimentary Pharmabiotics Centre was funded by Science Foundation Ireland. It consisted of a group of people that were already working together, but on a much smaller scale because we had very limited funding. We generally got our funding from small pockets of research for health research, and we competed well at the level of the European Union. We brought together a group of people ranging from clinicians, clinician scientists, basic scientists, to investigate the microbiota, the bacteria, microbes in the gastrointestinal tract, because we passionately believed that this was a rich repository for mining new bioactive molecules that could be used in functional foods or could be used as novel drug treatment. And we had some early successes with the development of novel antibiotics. From that, we were able to attract commercial partners that could see the commercial applicability of our work. From that, the government became interested and invested heavily. And that was the thing that launched our research onto a completely new level. We were always collaborating, but it just happened on a different scale once Science Foundation Ireland invested in the research.
There's a large amount of research now being undertaken in academia in Ireland, and these people are world-class researchers in their own right. We are involved on our primary responsibility to date has been to attract foreign investment, that's the manufacturing piece of these companies, to Ireland. These companies now are identifying Ireland as a place that they want to undertake, or they're looking to undertake research collaborations. We are marrying the research academics with these companies, and in that way creating these collaborations, which is enhancing the attractiveness of Ireland to these companies.
For me, one of the most exciting aspects of my work over the past few years in Ireland has been the ability to work not only in the academic environment, but to see the products of that research translated into innovation in the market. And here I must recognise the contributions of Enterprise Ireland to supporting start-up companies, small and medium-sized companies in Ireland, particularly of course in the biomedical and biotechnology field.
Why we believe Alimentary Health has taken a unique approach is that we focused on the gastrointestinal flora and its role in disease management. It's a new look at the problem. Conventional pharmaceutical companies would have looked at small molecules or indeed biologics, but coming at it from the gut flora perspective, and we believe it's a good place to look for a new generation of therapeutics. Being a development company, a development stage company, we identify that partnerships are key. Large partnerships with large companies are key to bringing our technologies through. Our first partnership was with Procter & Gamble in 2000, and that relationship has now borne fruit in that we have a product currently for sale in the US called Align for the management of GI conditions. Since the P&G relationship, we've also entered into a number of additional partnerships which would have a target to bring products through over the next 3 to 5 years. And essentially what it involved was Alimentary Health brought some of its early stage technologies through development with P&G. It started in Cork, developed through its proof of concept phases in Cork, and now P&G have taken it on and really embraced it as a product that they would hope to develop globally.
The key area of focus for us as an organisation is to help our companies have the optimal price, cost, quality, the speed, the flexibility and the innovation to drive international growth and really compete aggressively. But not just compete on commercial terms, but to compete on the technology base that they have, linking them to the world leaders, such that you have that interlock system of academia, business, clinical community, all in one place, in one country, and basically to be able to use that as a footprint to grow internationally.
Well, Ireland has a very large medical device industry, approximately 26,000 people working in the medical device industry here. 20 or so of the top 25 American medical device companies have their European presence here. Our initial product is focused on GERD diagnosis. We have a new technique which allows the mechanical sphincter, the lower esophageal sphincter, to be measured and assessed by imaging it using a balloon catheter. And we believe that for the first time this will allow a gastroenterologist to assess the mechanical properties of the sphincter to help them better determine whether a patient would benefit from fundoplication surgery. Certainly as we move forward, we obviously have to have a footprint in our large target markets, and we've just recently set up an office in Carlsbad, California, which will be the focal point for our sales and marketing activities in the US. However, our plan is to continue all our research and development activities in Ireland.
If you look at the disease model, anything that you look at in the model, from the disease, the clinical indices, to the cytokine levels, to the histology, anything that is changed by the disease process, our compounds seem to affect, and I mean not just affect, but completely wipe out in some cases, bring it back down to healthy levels. But at the moment we have a series of molecules which in actual fact don't look like the originals, but these new molecules seem to have surprisingly good efficacy in preclinical models of inflammatory bowel disease. If that efficacy translates into a human person into the clinic, then this could be a real blockbuster drug.
When you have the world-leading players present in Ireland, that attracts other world-leading players here. The significant demonstration effects for other industries throughout the world to look at Ireland to say, you know, Ireland has a competitive advantage over other nations globally, and it most certainly does.
I moved here 4 years ago from Australia with the opportunity to set up a company such as Opsona. It's an exciting environment in which to do that. There's a lot of support from the government agencies as well as from the financing community as well. Opsona is all about developing anti-inflammatory compounds for the treatment of diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Our GI products that we're focused on is our OPN 501 platform, which essentially is a way of delivering drugs such as steroids, which are commonly used to treat diseases such as ulcerative colitis, specifically to the colon. and in doing that you avoid the systemic side effects that are commonly seen with these products. So it's a novel way of delivering drugs to the colon. Opsona works very closely with the Irish government agencies. We're an EI funded company. Enterprise Ireland is one of our investors, and we work very closely with EI on a number of other schemes and programs. And they fund a lot of our research, particularly research around our ulcerative colitis product. We also work with Science Foundation Ireland. We're working together with Trinity College and SFI and sharing Plough and Organon together under a strategic research cluster that we have established at Trinity College, looking to identify novel immunomodulators and drugs and targets in the area of innate immunity.
There's a certain number of key opinion leaders, as they're called, in each area of research. And Ireland's lucky to have several in this area, so that's the first thing. So we're well known, several of us internationally in our field of research, because of our discoveries that were done in Ireland. So internationally we're known in these areas, and that's a really good signal to send out to the world, really, that in Ireland there is outstanding researchers and clinicians in this inflammation area as it relates to digestive diseases.
We would define clinical pharmacology research as anything to do with drug target discovery, development, regulation or use. And most of my own research program is at the more fundamental end of that spectrum, which is looking for novel drug targets. And so we have identified some molecules mostly in intestinal epithelial cells, which are the lining cells of the GI tract, that are key mediators of the transformation of those cells from being benign cells into cancerous cells. We're starting to identify, in particular, very important mechanisms of crosstalk between the bacteria and other microbes that inhabit the GI tract and the propensity or the ability of radiation to damage the GI tract. So if those ideas come to fruition, there will be potential for targeting intestinal microbes as novel therapeutic agents in the prevention of radiation injury.
The contents of the stomach have often been likened to battery acid. It's quite difficult to keep a technology in there and keep it working. So ours is unique from the point of view that we've developed it from scratch. It's a formulation, a biomaterials formulation that basically is stable in that environment and can survive that environment for a period of time, and thus allows us to provide a medical device, a medical solution. Reflux control is a problem where in the stomach there's high acidic content, and when the valve at the upper end of the stomach fails, contents reflux back into the esophagus, causing multiple problems. What we've developed is a valve that can replace the anatomical valve in that position, and by replacing that valve we get very good performance in preventing reflux from going back into the esophagus. And what we have here in our own facility is the capability on the bench of looking and testing those devices as we develop them and prove that the concept works.
We also fund lots of other research in Ireland that indirectly or directly impacts on GI research. So GI research doesn't sit in a space on its own, it sits within a network of research excellence. For example, immunology, we have some leaders in the fields of immunology, in glycosciences, in bioinformatics, in drug delivery and pharmacochemical formulation. All of these are very critical areas, and all of them impact for the positive good of GI research. So in that sense, Ireland, as a place to do excellent research as well as industry engagement, is I think as strong as ever and is only set to continue to grow.
I think we have a unique opportunity right now, and the Irish gastroenterologists are well recognised at an international level, precisely because we've actually been able to generate the critical mass in that given specialty at an academic level. And the capabilities, I think, are ranging currently from expertise in the neuroimmune system to expertise in the gut immune system to expertise in technical devices and areas around the diagnosis and management of gastrointestinal disease. If we put it all together, we've got a really powerful force.
Well, essentially what we allow to do is, these are drugs that, as I said, can only be given by injectable means, and we are actually converting them into a tablet. And what we do is we use a series of patented absorption enhancers that are intrinsically safe items, and that allows the drug to get absorbed in vastly greater quantities in the GI tract. Yeah, the government's obviously provided a backdrop here which has made it attractive for people to do business in Ireland, and that's important. But I think, again, it's all about individuals and people working as teams together. So it's really bright, intelligent and very entrepreneurial people making things happen. That's how it works in this business. You really have to take an element of risk. You have to get out there and you have to be world class. There's no chance to be I feel like a local player. You have to really succeed on the world stage and be truly unique.
Well, I think Ireland is very strong in the area of GI because we have leading academics such as Professor Taylor, a lot of fantastic clinicians such as Dermot O'Donoghue in St Vincent's, Fergus Shanahan in Cork, Eamon Quigley in Cork, Larry Egan in Galway. So the foundation is there, and it's up to companies like Sigmoid to come along with innovations and then to work closely with the academics and the clinicians to develop these products from concept to clinic. So I think the infrastructure is in place through Enterprise Ireland, SFI and the government support. I believe Ireland is very well poised to continue to innovate in the area of GI and lead the development of innovative products in this area for the world. Originally our technology was developed as a drug delivery technology to improve drugs or find new uses of old drugs. But as it so happens, through various iterations of our technology, the colonic delivery is an area that our technology addresses better than other technologies that we see on the marketplace. So in that context, diseases of the colon are of particular interest to us. So ulcerative colitis, Crohn's and other diarrheal type diseases. So we've developed a technology that in effect harnesses the differences in the GI to allow a drug to be either released or targeted. And there are a number of specific differences between different regions of the intestine that other technologies, we believe, haven't really grasped to the same extent as we have. So we're using diversity to our advantage.
Well, already we have 8 of the top 10 world manufacturers of GI products. They're already located in Ireland. For example, Takeda, Teva, Astellas, Helsing, Wyatt Medica, and a few more. And these companies are already here in Ireland. They are already identifying and attracting attention from the from the clinicians, from the academic researchers, and in this way that they are starting to identify potential opportunities for them to manufacture new products.
The immunology and GI expertise of Ireland stems from the academic background that we have. For example, Professor Dermot Kelleher is on our board of directors. So what we do is we provide laboratory instrumentation, consumables and software to the pharmaceutical and biotech industry. We focus exclusively at the very late stage development, preclinical area, lead optimization, drug recharacterization area. So the companies that, or the researchers that are using our technology will investigate a very small number of compounds. So we're looking at very late stage development where it is a low throughput platform where we investigate pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic studies for cell-based assays. Our platform at the moment has been sold to one of the leading biotech companies in the world, and they're using it to investigate inflammatory bowel disease.
Craigana provides a contract design and manufacturing service for medical device companies, and we specialise in minimally invasive delivery and access systems. Typically we're contracted by our customers to either design or manufacture a product, and we offer a full service from concept through to commercialization. And we can offer our customers some competitive advantage by allowing them access our technology, which is an output from our research and development groups, material science and advanced process development. So an example of that in the GI space would be our product Javelin, which is a proprietary alloy that delivers superior performance in endoscopic biopsy, for example.
This is a small country whose future truly is dependent on innovation. We do not have much in the way of natural resources. Our greatest resource are our people. And to promote the future in Ireland, it really means, to use the phrase that the government use, the promotion of the knowledge economy. And I see my role as a professor, as a gastroenterologist, to work with industry, to help them to identify more clearly the problems that they need to address, and of course to help them to develop new solutions. If you want to collaborate with the highest quality gastroenterology research, you need to come here.